Hey, what's up guys, it's AndreOth here, bringing you guys another video, and in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how I made a Pop Smoke type beat. Let's get into it. Guys, obviously we have to say RIP to Pop Smoke. I think he was the king of the New York drill movement, and being someone from the UK, being from London, I really had this appreciation for Pop Smoke, just for kind of embracing that UK drill kind of sound and not really stealing it. You know, he kind of made it his own. He didn't do what a lot of people do and just take a kind of sound and steal it. He made it his own, and he also took producers from the UK like 808 Mellow and Axel and actually used beats made by producers from the UK. So you have to give him his props. I think he was really coming into his own. I really started to become a fan of his. You know, ever since he dropped Dior and stuff like that, he just came out with bangers after bangers. I really thought this year was going to be a big year for him. Obviously, he had the Nicki Minaj, the Quavo, and the Travis Scott placements and stuff like that. Like, he was really on his way, so it's a really big loss for the music industry, and obviously RIP Pop Smoke. But yeah guys, to start this beat off, I actually started it off with a sample. I think I found this sample on Splice. The only thing I really did to the sample was I think I changed the pitch and I actually half speeded the sample. I think the sample had like these choir kind of singing kind of melodies, and that's kind of that's like the easiest kind of sound to go for when you're doing these Pop Smoke kind of 808 mellow kind of beats. You know, you really want to get some choirs in there, not all the time, but that always seems to work. So what I did, I just half speeded it just to make it sound more haunting, more menacing, which is the kind of vibe you want to go for with these Pop Smoke kind of beats. So that's what I did. I half speeded it, and I also slowed it down, so that kind of record kind of slow down kind of effect, I added that at the end of it during the intro, just to make the intro sound a bit more interesting. And that's something that's an effect that they tend to use in these kind of beats. I didn't use that for the rest of the beat, I only had that for the intro. But anyways guys, the melody and the intro just sounded like this. So then after the melody was complete, I then moved on to the drums. I normally start my drums off with some claps or some snares, but this time I decided to start it off with some hi-hats. So I found these hi-hats that kind of had a nice little texture to it. So I played this very simple hi-hat pattern just to start off the drums. And when it comes to these drill beats, I think the hi-hat pattern is really crucial when it comes to engaging that kind of drill kind of bounce. So I had to make sure that the hi-hats did have that little bounce to it, so the rest of the drums can kind of follow suit. So anyways, the hi-hats are sounding like this. And everything together should sound like this. So then after that hi-hat, I found another hi-hat that went well with this kind of genre, with this kind of style of music. So I found these really trappy kind of sounding hi-hats, and I played another hi-hat pattern just to complement the first hi-hat pattern that I came up with. And I really liked how the two hi-hats kind of bounced off each other. So yeah, the second hi-hats just sounded like this. And then when you hit that, play with everything else, it should all sound like this. I then went in to add some open hats. It wasn't really like an open hat, it was more like a crash that you hear in like an acoustic kind of drum, that crash kind of sound. I wanted a crash to kind of hit on every 4 bars, I think it was. Yeah, the inspiration behind this idea came from like the UK kind of drill kind of sound. They tend to use these crash kind of sounds a lot, so I decided to just add that in there, and I thought it really worked. But yeah, I just came up with this simple kind of crash kind of pattern, and it ended up sounding like this. And then when you hear that played with the rest of the beat, the whole beat should sound like this. So the next thing I added was the kicks, and you guys already know how important the kicks are with these drill kind of beats. The kicks need to be hitting. There can't be any soft kind of sounding kicks. They need to be hitting and punching through the speakers. So what I did was I found these kicks from Splice. I think it went really well just with this style of music, and I also added some overdrive to it just to give it a little bit more power and a little bit more punch. And the kick ended up sounding how I wanted to, so I decided to come up with a simple kick pattern. And with the kicks, with these New York style drill kind of beats, the kick pattern has to be minimal but bouncy. You don't want it to be too busy, you want to keep it minimal, and that's how you really get the best bounce in these kind of New York style drill kind of beats. So that's what I did. I came up with this very simple but very effective and very bouncy kind of kick pattern that sounded like this. And then when you had that played with everything else, everything should come together like this. So after the kicks were finished, I then moved on to the snares. I normally use a clap in a lot of my beats, but I decided to use a snare to do this drill beat because that's kind of what you hear in a lot of drill beats. You kind of hear like a sharp kind of cutting snare instead of like a clap. So I found this snare, I think I found it from Splice. I think it just went perfectly with this style of beat, and it was exactly what I was looking for. So yeah, I just put in this very simple snare pattern, and again, I think this is probably the most crucial part of a drill beat just to get that bounce. I think you have to get the snare pattern right. So this is the exact snare pattern that I used to make this beat, and that's the snare pattern that a lot of drill producers or anyone who's done like a drill or a New York style drill kind of beat, this is the snare pattern that they use. And it's very simple, it's nothing complicated, but it just creates the whole bounce and the whole rhythm of a drill beat. And obviously you can add a couple snare rolls and stuff like that, but I think this kind of snare pattern is the best to kind of work from when you're doing a drill beat, and it sounds like this. And everything together should sound like this. So then after that, when I was finished with all the drums, we then moved on to the next most important part of a drill beat, and that is the 808s or the bass. So with the 808s, you really want to find a hard hitting but booming kind of 808s. You don't want these kind of soft or short kind of 808s that you might hear in some trap beats. You want these booming 808s with a long release, because with the drill kind of beats, the drums are quite minimal, so you want the 808s to have some release on it just to fill up the beat a little bit. So that's what I did. I went on Splice and I found the 808s I thought would go perfectly with this type of beat. The 808 I got was just from Wonder Girl's Spice Pack, and she has like these really hard hitting booming 808s that I was looking for with these drill kind of beats, and that just went perfectly with just the whole drill sound. So I got the 808, I put it into the EXS, and then yeah, I put on legato, I turned up the glide just so you can have the 808 glides and stuff like that, and then I came up with this 808 bass line that went perfectly with the main melody. Now this bass line was really simple, it kind of hit every time the kicks hit, and that's another technique you can use. Every time the kicks hit, you want the 808s to be in sync, so you want the 808s to hit with the kicks, and it just makes the kicks and the 808s to sound better. And then obviously you want the glides, so you can just have fun with it, be creative with your 808 glides, and the glides really do enhance that kind of drill sound of the beat, and it just really enhances the whole bounce and the whole flow in general. so I added some glides in there. And again, you want the 808s to be booming, so I think I added some distortion to the 808s just to give it a wider, bigger kind of sound. But yeah, in the end I was really happy with the 808 bass line that I created, and it ended up sounding like this. And then when you hit that, play with everything else, it should all sound like this. So that was pretty much it, guys. That was every single component there was to this beat, and that was the whole process that went into making this beat. The only thing I had to do after that was structure the beat, and that's exactly what I did. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys liked the video. I hope you guys learned something. But if you did like the video though, please hit the like button down below and subscribe for more, because I have way more videos like this coming out every single week. If you guys want to purchase any beats from me, I have an offer going on where I'm going to be giving you guys 10 free beats. So I have a pack that's going to include 10 free beats. So I will include the MP3s, the untagged waves, and also the trackouts, and also all the beats have an unlimited license, so you guys can make profit off of these beats. You can get any amount of views, any amount of streams, so you can still keep all the revenue with whatever song you make with these beats. So if you want that offer, just click the link in the description below and you can have it. And also guys, if you want, you can follow me on Twitter and you can follow me on Instagram for all latest updates, and I'll catch you guys in this video.